Hey, what's up, everyone? It's been a minute. Um, Reason I have not been uploading a lot is because I have been just working on some shit and mostly just hanging out and just doing nothing and playing Fortnite. Although I do have a couple new interesting shits that I have been making up, and all of these weapons are unique. Plus a rework of like one of my favorite weapons, even though I do not like SMGs too much, but I still love that weapon. And I will get over that lastly. First, we're going to be talking about modified weapon set. What do I mean by modified? Just like that. It's a modified weapon. Let's start with the assault rifle. Charged assault rifle. I bet a lot of you just said fuck that and just left. But let me explain why I made this. Think of it like this. This could be used for long range damage. It could be it could be used for just long range purposes. You know, not for like spraying and stuff like that. It's not a direct replacement to the normal AR, but it could be like a replacement to, like, let's say a sniper, kinda like a long range weapon. If you want to deal a crap ton of damage, range damage would be just like half of what it says, and then just multiply the damage values and shit like that on the calculator. But yeah, basically that. My bad for my sore throat. I have my throat's kind of like dry too, so I'm sorry for like weird throat or just pauses. Okay, so damages is 24, 28, 31, and 34. The headshot multiplier is 1.25. Let me explain why it's so low. As you can see below that, it says damage multiplier is up to 1.6. So you're essentially doing excuse me, holy crap. You're essentially doing 38, 44, 50, and 54 body shot. With on top of the headshot multiplier, which is you multiply both things, you're getting essentially a times 2 headshot multiplier, which is not too bad at all. It's awesome. Um, Charge time. I'm pretty sure this is similar to the charge shotgun. Charge shotgun takes, I think, 1.7 seconds to fully charge up. So this is just a tad bit slower, but it's not a big difference. The fire rate is gonna be a little bit slower than most ARs. Magazine size is gonna be 15, just under half of the usual thing. Reload times are going to be 3 seconds, 3.78 seconds, 2.46 seconds, and 2.24 seconds. The reason I am being really specific on numbers is because the way the new UI works, instead of like showing you, like, you know how it usually says 2.1 or 2.8, something like that. It usually is a little bit under that. And when you go into like the new UI thing, so let's say you have a weapon that reloads in 2.8 seconds, it could be 2.76 seconds. So it's a tad bit faster than what it usually shows you on the old UI in the creative menu when you're selecting a weapon. And the weapon design is something I made. Oh, by the way, all of these weapons I made in Photoshop, and it took me like a while to make. So hopefully it's not too odd looking, but I tried my best making a bunch of weapons look original in the sense that they look unique. Hopefully you guys don't mind that. So the uncommon to blue, so basically green and blue design of the weapon is going to look with the similar to a normal AR and a charged shotgun combined. I tried to gray out the barrel and it blended in really well with the green AR. And the epic and legendary variants, I can't say the same thing for. It's I tried, but it Photoshop was just acting weird. I tried making the scar look like dark, did not work out. It just ended up looking horrible, so I just ended up sticking with the normal design. Okay, onto the sniper or rocket launcher. Let me explain. This is a sniper rifle. It only comes in epic and legendary variants. It's a heat-seeking rocket launcher or rocket sniper launcher, whatever you want to call it. So this weapon is unique in the sense that it tracks people. This uses rocket ammo. This is not gonna use sniper ammo. Fuck that. We don't need spam. We don't need spamming with this weapon. Although the fire rate should make up for that. So look, damage ranges. What I mean by that is how close you are to an enemy. If you have an epic version, you're gonna be doing 108 from point blank to 5 meters away from an opponent, 6 meters to 75 to 17 to 15 meters. You're gonna be doing 72 damage. 16 meters up to 35 meters, you're gonna be doing 47 damage, and then beyond 36 meters, you're gonna be doing 26. And same thing applies with the numbers shown for the legendary stats. The fire rate is going to be a little bit faster than normal snipers. Snipers have a fire rate of 0.33, so I just made it 0.45. So it's like basically every half shot. Reload times, I don't want to make this a weapon that's spammable, although the fire rate already makes it not spammable, but even then, reload times are going to be 3.8 seconds and 3.5 seconds. Heat-seeking effectiveness means that the rocket is going to track people. I made it because this is a heat-seeking thing. Because it's going to track people, I made it so that the farther away you are from someone, the less effective the tracking is. So for a point blank range, up to 5 meters, you're gonna be basically almost all of the time tracking that opponent, unless they build or something like that. But let's say they don't build and they just fight you point blank range. You're gonna have unless you're like 0 to 3 meters, it's not going to do anything. Like the 95%, it's essentially a 100%. But if you're like 5 meters, close to that 6 meter mark, it's gonna be a little bit harder for it to track, just the tiniest bit. But most of the time, you're gonna hit it. 6 to 15 meters, you're gonna have 75% effectiveness. So you're basically just going to track about 3/4 of the time. Then 16 to 35 meters is 55% of the time, so a little bit above half the times. 36 meters is going to be 35% of the time. So it's going to be a really weak heat-seeking missile. This weapon obviously uses rocket ammo. So the design of this weapon, I made it so it's like the pod. I'm sorry, save the world. I'm a little bit mixed up. So the weapon design is a heavy sniper, a thermal AR, and a proximity grenade launcher. The scope of it is a proximity grenade launcher with the like, I guess you could say, glass of the thermal AR, thermal scoped AR. The magazine is gonna be the one from the proximity grenade launcher, and the barrel and attachment and all that shit is going to be from the thermal AR, making this weapon look unique, you know? Again, all of this I made in Photoshop. Now the pistol, I just wanted to have fun. It's stupid broken, but it's stupid in a fun way. Like, this is basically a rapid fire when you think about it. Okay, so this is a pistol. It comes in all variants. It's called the Rapid Shot Dual Suppressed Pistols. DPS is 187.5 up to 232.5. Damage ranges goes from is 25, 26, 27, 29, and 31. Headshot multiplier is 1.5. Fire rate is 7.5 times, or 7.5 fire rate. Magazine size is 11. Basically, you have 11 bullets in each magazine of the pistols when you think about it. Although it doesn't really matter. You're shooting two pistols at the same time. Reload times is going to be 2.1 seconds, 1.94 seconds, 1.75 seconds, 1.62 seconds, and then 1.46 seconds. You go from legendary Scar reload speed all the way to about a blue rapid fire reload speed. The weapon design, I don't know why I did this, but I just grabbed the legendary pistol, a suppressed pistol, and I just deleted the suppressed pistol and just kept the suppressed thing and then added it on top of the pistol. Don't know why I did it like that. Probably because the legendary pistol looks cooler. And then the barrel extension or the arm extension of it is from a weapon Save the World called the Pepper Sprayer. It's a really cool looking weapon. And now onto, okay, actually no, the shotgun I'll leave for last. Then we got the SMG. It comes in blue to legendary forms. It's called Impacted Drum Submachine Gun, or SMG if you want to shorten it or something. DPS 108 all the way up to 144. Damage ranges are fucking awful. It does 6 damage all the way up to 8 damage. The fire rate is a whopping 18 shots per second. It has a magazine size of fucking 40. And the wind-up time basically is like a minigun. But not in terms of like the time it takes for it to wind up. No, I'm talking about like in the sense of like how the minigun works. You wind up and then you start shooting. With this weapon, you wind up for like basically 2.5 seconds and then you start shooting really fast. And you have 40 bullets just to, you know, just to do all of that damage. The reload speeds of this weapon are going to be 3.5 seconds, 3.34 seconds, all the way down to 3.15 seconds. I made this weapon horrible in the sense that it takes too long to reload, it has minimal as fuck damage, plus it has a wind up time similar to the minigun. But to make up for that, I made it to have the highest fire rate in the entire fucking game in terms of battle royale things. But yeah, magazine size of 40. We don't need another compact SMG dilemma from season 5 of chapter 1. We don't need that. And the weapon design, actually I'll get over that lastly. This weapon, like I added in the bottom of it, this weapon is highly inaccurate, so it doesn't have first shot accuracy, and it has a really big kickback to the weapon. It doesn't have first shot accuracy either, so it's not a suppressed SMG. And now let's get onto the weapon design. So to start off, I deleted the arm extension of the SMG. I added and I deleted the magazine of the normal SMG and then added the drum shotgun barrel. Mostly the drum shotgun barrel because it's like a lot simpler to use and all that shit. I mostly use the drum shotgun barrel on some of the designs because it looks a lot nicer. It's a lot simpler to Photoshop out from the shotgun instead of the drum gun. And mostly because look at it. It looks kind of cool. I like it. And now let's get into the shotgun. There's a lot to take in when you look at it. But let me explain. Firstly, let's go on to the weapon design because I added a bunch of shit to it. So, firstly, the base of the shotgun is a tactical shotgun, a golden variant essentially. I used the ground pounder for the arm extension and the barrel. The ground pounder is a shotgun that saved the world. That is a really good shotgun. It has a high fire rate and all that stuff, but let's not get into that. That little thing on the bottom is from the heavy sniper. I just liked how it looked. And then for the barrel, well, the drum shotgun barrel, because mostly it's a lot simpler to Photoshop out. I cannot express how convenient it is next to the thermal scope they are when you're photoshopping just the barrel. That was so satisfying to Photoshop out. Okay. Now, this shotgun only comes in legendary variants for a good reason. This is called Mechanical Sawdust Shotgun. A description on this weapon is this weapon is a limited usage weapon only having an average amount of shots before it breaking. So this weapon uses durability. Just keep that in mind. But it increases fire rate after a threshold is reached. And by threshold, I mean the durability of it. I'll get into that. Let's go into damages first. At max durability, you're having 120 damage per shot. And it has a fire rate of 0.07. So the normal pump shotgun. So basically, this weapon has the fire rate of the normal pump shotgun. Little bit broken, but I forgot to add this, but it has a headshot multiplier of 1.35. So essentially, you're doing this amount of damage. You're doing 162 headshot. Not too bad. It really isn't too bad. You're doing like 42 more damage. Not bad at all. Okay, and when you go down to 90% durability, you're doing 100 damage and you have the fire rate of the charged shotgun. Now, to explain to some people that think that the charged shotgun is bad, if you take out the charge mechanic of the charged shotgun, you're shooting faster than a pump. And you can spam the trigger and you will shoot a little bit faster than the pump. So just keep that in mind before you start saying that the fire rate of the charged shotgun is awful. Just take out the charge mechanic and you will be shooting faster than a pump. Trust me on that. But anyways, going back to this. Once you go down to 80% durability, you will be doing 85 damage and you will have a fire rate of 1 shot per second. Basically as fast as a heavy shotgun. And then you will keep that for a long time. Because the next threshold is 55% durability. You'll be doing 60 damage and your fire rate is going to be 1.5, so as fast as a tac shotgun. And you'll keep that for a while as well. So you basically go from a pump charge shotgun in terms of fire rate. Then you'll be going down to a heavy shotgun, then to a tag shotgun with 20 less damage, and then a new fire rate. I don't know which weapon has a fire rate of 2.25, but a unique fire rate for a shotgun, I guess. You'll be doing 40 damage and you shoot 2.25 shots per second. Now, that would seem a bit overpowered, especially since you're doing 54 headshot. Although it's not too bad. And just to get that out of the way, you will have 8 shots in a magazine every time you use this weapon. And the reload speed is 2.96 seconds. So basically every 3 seconds you're reloading this weapon. Then once you're at 30% or below 30%, you'll be doing 25 damage, really low damage, but you'll be shooting 3.5 times. This is basically... Oh, by the way, this shotgun is fully automatic. Or it changes into fully automatic. Once you go to 55% and below, it turns into a fully automatic shotgun. And you'll be doing 25 damage and you'll be shooting 3.5 times per second. So since you do 25 damage, you'll be doing this amount of damage per headshot. If you round it up, that's about 34 headshot. So it's not too bad. Now let's do this with every headshot, every damage output. So you have 162 at max durability, 135 at the second threshold. Then I think it was 85. Okay, 85. You'll be doing 115. 60. You'll be doing 81 headshots. Then 40. You'll be doing 54 body shot. And then 54 headshot. Sorry. Then you'll be doing 34 headshot damage. Not too bad. And it consumes 0.7 durability per shot. Now, I forgot the way I did it, but if I remember how I did it and how I did the math, you have a total durability of 80. And since I'm pretty sure you just multiply the damage, you multiply durability per usage, you get 56 shots. So essentially, you'll be using this weapon not too oftenly, but if you do want to get to the certain thresholds and stuff like that, you will definitely want to do that because this weapon is extremely unique, and I would love something similar to this. Epic, if you're seeing this, I would love this. Please, this is the most original thing I have in this whole set so far. Please. Okay, I covered all the weapons in the modified weapons set. Now, I'm going to go to the nerve or balancing set that I have. And here's the drum gun rework. So, the reason I did the drum gun rework is because sorry. I did it because it's vaulted right now, and I'm like, you know how the drum gun is a mixture of an AR and an SMG, but it mostly resembles an SMG. What if they flip that? It's an SMG AR hybrid that resembles more an AR than it does an SMG. So I did a rework and stuff like that to make this weapon, like decent and stuff like that. Damage ranges The damage goes from 27 gray, 28, 30, 32, and 34 body shot. It has a fire rate of 6.5, so you're basically shooting about as fast as the TAC AR, which is not too bad. TAC AR is a really good weapon, but it has lackluster amount of damage and stuff like that. Magazine size, it varies. If you're gray to blue, you have 26 bullets in a magazine. And then if you're epic and gold, you have 32 shots in your magazine. Basically a similar feature to the rapid fire when you're using this thing. The headshot multiplier is 1.5 to keep it consistent with all the other ARs in the game. At the moment, I am recording this in Chapter 2, Season 7. Just to keep that in mind if anyone's watching later on. Reload times is going to be the green drum gun for the gray, about a little bit faster than the blue drum gun, just 0.03 seconds faster. 2.97 seconds for green, 2.72 seconds for blue, and then 2.63 seconds for epic, and 2.47 seconds for legendary. So you go from 3.2 all the way down to 2.4. Not too shabby. And a little bit of info on this weapon. The weapon has a first shot accuracy because it resembles mostly an AR in this rework, and first shot accuracy resets in 1.2 seconds. I'm not sure how fast first shot accuracy resets for some weapons, but I think this is similar to the AK. Pretty sure it's similar to the AK. I'm not really sure on that one, but I'm like about an 80% sure it is. It has the stability of the primal AR. So stability means like the kickback of the weapon in a way. It's not like too much, and yeah. And before anyone gets confused, just because the primal AR has bad like bloom and stuff like that, that doesn't mean weapon stability. Stability, like I said like a few seconds earlier, it means like the kickback of the weapon after every shot. So, yeah. And then the spread of the weapon, which means how big your bloom gets after a few shots or stuff like that. It's similar, if not a little bit in between of the blue AR and the epic scar. So something in between of that for like every rarity, or just a little bit below, but then up to gold it goes something in between of the epic scar. And then the weapon design for the gray to blue, I use the ground pounder, I use the blue AK design, I use the thermal scoped, although this is not a scoped weapon, it's just some weapons have unnecessary scopes to it, and it was just, just for the sake of design, because it's fun. It has the barrel and the second hand adjustment of the drum gun, and then the barrel of this weapon, well, it's the drum gun, or it's a drum shotgun. Really easy to Photoshop. Then the epic to legendary, it's a epic. It's a legendary AK. It has the drum shotgun barrel. Again, super easy to use, versatile. The barrel is from the thermal AR, which is one of the easiest to Photoshop in the Photoshop thing I use on my mobile device. Those two are really easy to Photoshop. Then the arm extension is from the pepper sprayer weapon I mentioned a couple weapons back. And then the second arm extension is the drum gun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This video is half a fucking hour long. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did watch this to the end, you're awesome. Press like, share this. Please share this with some people. I would love to hear feedback from people. Yeah. See ya.